What's going on, bass heads, bass up family? Welcome back. Welcome to another video, guys. I'm bringing you another one. So as you see in the title of the video, I want to kind of just do a video explaining pretty much a topic that's not really too much talked about in the whole entire bass fanatics of, you know, what's going on. And recently I just started doing my own floating in my car, and I just wanted to explain like the fascination of it and like how it works and everything like that for you guys out there who want to try and get that going for your setup and everything like that. So as many as you guys know, bass is a lot more complex than just a bunch of sound coming out of some subwoofers that bang your car and start falling apart and everything like that. It actually comes into a lot more play with pretty much scientific stuff and math and sound waves and sound and how it delivers sound waves, frequencies, SPL, pressure, and there's a lot to it, guys. So you can't just slap a thing in your car and hope it does what you're looking to do. Everything counts with power, and everything comes with space, and everything comes with just your details on what you have for specs and specifications on each of your items, guys. And the thing about my setup now is that I have two SPL subs that do really good as well on lows, that can create this pressure that's going to make those sound waves able to do the floating of an item, either that be a microfiber towel, a shirt, a napkin, something that's more lightweight, nothing crazy until you get those really high pressure levels. But for kind of more of a beginner slash getting into that pressure level, it takes a lot into account of that, and pretty much you're gonna start noticing a lot more as well, including the sound pressure inside of your car, the dB levels that you're getting, and what you can do inside of your car to start doing all that stuff. So I can hear behind me, we got Mr. Subs and Paws joining on the talk. I just started. Welcome to the talk. So I was just explaining, pretty much saying that you know, I started kind of doing a little bit of a video of talking about bass topics that not really, you know, talked about too much. So even him, he has a Sundown Z V612 in his car, and he's in a van, and vans are one of those bigger cars that is just super hard to get either high levels of dB or even just like a competition style, unless you build a
like
wall.
Getting 140 was like,
it took a long time.
yeah,
it really did. And the thing is he doesn't have, it's a family car. Even my car it's not set up for like a wall. Like you could do a wall setup or even take out your back seats.
Oh yeah,
and have
sure.
like 812s, 815s or something like that, but that's just not where we're at.
And I can't fit my kids in my car.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So it's just not,
Defeats
you know,
the purpose of the
doable.
car.
That's what, exactly. So pretty much
Hey, what up, buddy?
to produce all of that stuff, it takes a lot, but at the same time it can't as well. You don't need so much as well, because you could have one big sub and it'll move a lot of air. So the same thing. So I, like in my car, you know, I got two, like I said, I got two of those Timpano TPT 3500s, and those things move a ton of air. There's also a ton of pressure built up inside the car, giving me that high decibel number of around that 148 and a little bit higher. And then also,
I had an idea today. We got to try it tomorrow.
Oh heck yeah! And also being able to create enough pressure to pretty much float anything on my car seems to be from a range from 30 hertz to 40 hertz. I haven't tried anything lower than that. The box doesn't really, it's tuned to 32. So once you go too low below 30, you're not gonna get all that big pressure. I should be able to get the air, but I don't think, maybe I could try like 28 or something like that. But today,
What is it, 32?
it is, the box is tuned to 32. So he got, like I said,
Usually you can get a little bit lower than 32, like it'll like 30, 31.
Yeah,
it'll
like
still
30
hit
is pretty
the
good.
tones, especially if you have a big sub inside the box, taking up a lot of space.
Right. So like in his car, he's got the one ZV612 in a big ported box. And when we were demoing it yesterday, I feel like I've never seen this guy's like doors move how they were moving on the inside. And I thought to myself, I was like, clearly there's a lot of extra pressure that's coming
this
from
morning
this sub.
I could feel it on the back of my neck.
Right. And that's air. That's all that air moving inside the vehicle. instead of having like a.
And then you have your arm right here, and you can kind of feel it. Like I don't know if it's coming through. It has to be coming through the car, like itself, and through the walls of the car, and you can feel it brushing along your arm. So the air's coming from. It's literally coming from everywhere. It's coming from your sides. It's coming from this side. It's coming from above your head. So the pressure's coming from all over inside the car.
Right. Exactly. And like, so he tried to put his window down this morning, and he just wanted to do the test of the Napkin, and it did the same thing as my car.
Yeah.
And he's hitting just 140 decibels, but he's moving so much air. So that air is creating those sound waves coming out with the sub, and enough like resonance from the everything inside the car with the airspace and everything, with the air waves moving. Pretty much, they kind of glide along the edge of that car on the inside.
Yeah.
So when you roll your window down, all that air, usually around like the front of the window, all you do is stick your napkin there, or some sort of like towel, and it's just gonna start evenly distributing those sound waves, and it's gonna make it go back and forth like a flap. Especially what's cool is that depending on what kind of frequency you have, like the higher the frequency, the closer the sound waves are. But if you have like 30 hertz going, you're gonna see it go like this, slower.
Yeah.
But then as soon as you go to like 38 hertz, it's gonna go like this really fast.
Yep.
So I have a clip on my phone that I'm gonna insert in the video right here. And then after you guys just saw that, that was pretty much in my car. In the video, filming it real time, there's no extra time, but I just inserted the video. And I was just playing, like, it was I think 38 hertz, and it was going super, super fast with that Napkin. And I definitely want to get a shot of like 30 hertz. I don't see why I can't just do it after recording this. But that.
It's definitely floating better here.
That's a little bit of a cooler like look, because you're getting, it's kind of moving a little bit slower.
Yeah,
so
when you
seeing
have
it move.
38 hertz, 40 hertz, the Napkin's really tight, and it's kind of just, you know, it's more sitting there.
It's almost like floating.
It's
floating,
kind of
really
sitting there going like this.
Yeah, right.
And when you have the, you know, the 32 hertz, it's actually waving.
It's like a wave
in the window, and if you have enough, it'll actually move throughout the whole window, depending on where the sound is in your car.
Right. So another thing too is that I guess your subwoofer cone area has something to do with it as well. Depending on how much it moves and stuff like that, which obviously is going to be higher volume, higher levels of air pushing out. But with your subwoofer excursion going in and out, that's where your pressure is coming from, and all the air coming out of your box depends on that as well. So I was trying to say, like, you can't just really slap any sub in there and it's going to do it exactly how another sub's going to do it.
Oh yeah,
like,
everything is different.
Right. And it's not going to be, you can't really slap two, you know, I don't know, obviously like not some Jensens, but even like a Scar SDR, like you're not going to get anything like that. So you really need like a really sturdy, you need like a sturdy sub.
You probably need like at least 2,500 to 3,000, and I mean like using those watts, not a 3,000 watt amp and using 1,500 watts.
Right.
And I was just talking to a guy.
That definitely makes. I didn't even
today.
think about that. That definitely makes a difference, guys, because I had the Big Boss 3 in here, and I was getting around 146 decibels, but it wasn't the same pressure or the same air wind that was coming out of it as my new JP43.
Yeah,
and we were playing it yesterday, and it's like slapping you in the face when you're sitting back there. And the Big Boss 3, first of all, wasn't pushing them like they were now, and when they were pushing them, it was clipping. I've literally gone to slightly clipping on this amp. And that's because the song I was using had a really big burst of bass, but at the same time it's pushing them like crazy. Like the video you got yesterday, that short, is absolutely phenomenal. It just shows them how much they flex, especially on that. Especially
I told them when I was done shooting the video, I said, play it again and put your head where I had my head.
Yeah, so I tried it.
It actually sounds like they're punching the car, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But that's what it sounded like. They were actually punching the car.
So I actually was driving this morning, and I literally saw on the front of my car where like the defroster is, there's a little plastic ring around it, like a cover. It came up. There's a crack in it, and it came up. Like just a little plastic, like I can kind of push it back in, but I was like, there you go, that's the start of your pressure in your car braking stuff. And I know obviously once you get so far, you guys obviously want to start like bolting your stuff in your car, checking your normal stuff. You don't want any lights falling out, braking and everything like that, especially if it's your daily driver. But either way, to achieve that level of the air coming, you know, all that air pressure in your car, it is going to take some power. You know, again, I could have these two subs on 1500 watts. It's not going to do what it does.
Yeah,
with
I think they're like, it says 1750 a piece or something like that for their RMS.
I would say they need like,
and if they were doing the RMS, I don't think you'd get that level of I don't think he'd get that level to be able to float anything.
Right, not at all. You're gonna feel it in a car, but as soon as you roll that window down and try to put something there, you might be able to hold it and it'll do it, but not float.
Because if you watch the dyno
different.
test that he had, they're like consecutive 4,000 watt hits.
Right.
And that's where you're getting your floating.
Big power.
That's where you're getting your pressure from.
Yeah.
Those consecutive numbers.
So I mean, I don't know really. There's not so much to it, guys. But when people tell you that you're gonna need a lot of power and some big stuff to do it, and also obviously port area has something to do with it as well. You don't want a box that has a super small port.
Yeah.
It could push a ton of air out of it, but it's also going to be kind of choking it at the same time because it needs a lot more space to be able to push out that air. And I have a decent sized port, but there's some dual boxes out there that you can get to have a port about almost half a foot, maybe even more than that wide.
It was True Spec or I don't know. There's some company.
I think Ground Shake or
maybe
something
they have
like that.
Some ports that are like 4-inch ports by 20-inch. They're 4 by 20-inch ports. They're huge ports.
Or you guys could look into like 6-inch aero ports, get a dual box and make a huge aero port. It's gonna push all that air out and do the same thing. So I mean, it's interesting, but it's definitely like for me, it was an achievement that I didn't even know I could do. I should have thought of it because these numbers are insanely high, and you can really achieve that at like 140, 142. Yeah. At some point if you have enough power and enough, but I'm already almost at 150 and I was like, duh, let me try it again, and it's easily doing it. So I mean, other than that, I want to give a shout out to Sky High Car Audio. I bought some wire from them for my amplifier, and I got a little bit of an error. I got 5 feet instead of 6, and they ended up sending me 7 feet of their premium wire just to kind of make it right. So big shout out to them. I love to buy stuff from them. They're just like your good go-to group for any sort of wire. Their wire is reasonably priced too. Yeah, exactly. Pretty much great customer service anyway. So other than that, guys, if you would like to see any more topics, kind of leave them down in the comment section below. We're gonna go check out Subs and Paws. Definitely, like I said, use code Subs and Paws. I'm gonna write it up on the screen. At Slaps Audio, you're gonna save 5% off. Oh, is it Subs and Paws 5?
Yep, Subs and Paws 5.
All right, Subs and Paws 5. Error. I'll go type that in my last video. Yeah, like I said, it's gonna save you 5%. They have really good priced items anyway. Everything they have is absolutely priced, like really nice.
You're supporting an American veteran.
Correct. Yeah.
So I mean, you can't get much better than that.
Right. So either way, don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, share, like, all the random and normal stuff you guys are gonna do, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.